Hi, I'm Jess, and today I get to interview Channel Mum's autism experts, Becky and Nadia, as part of Channel Mum's Meet the Expert series. They are two outstanding SEND teachers with a combined experience of 20 years educating children and young people with autism. You'll also frequently find them on our Channel Mum group, where they answer questions and give advice on autism. And I'm lucky enough to have them here today answering the top questions we all want to know the answers to. Hi Becky, Nadia, thanks so much for coming. First of all, it'll be great to know a little bit more about you and actually how you became Channel Mum autism experts.
We've both been working in special education for a long time now. I specialise in teaching young people from the age of 11 to 19 with autism, and we kind of realised there was a real need to spread understanding of autism. Yeah. There is an awareness growing, but true understanding is we've still got a lot of progress to make, and there's a lot of parents and families and even teachers and other professionals who need some support in understanding autism.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I had a look at on Channel Mum's site, and we just noticed that there was a really good opportunity for parents to have somewhere to discuss all the issues around autism and stuff, because I think sometimes it's difficult to pin down professionals to get advice, so we thought Channel Mum would be a good way for them to do it in a more relaxed way.
What are the main differences and traits in children with autism, and how would I recognise that within my child?
We talk about like 4 main areas of difference,
right.
And those would be language and communication, difficulties in being able to understand the language that is being fed to you and processing what it means and picking up on it.
And then there's social interaction as well, so any difficulties around being able to interact with their peers or their families, looking at kind of having an understanding of social norms or like how to behave in certain social situations. So you might find that a child might say inappropriate things at the wrong time, or not have an understanding of when it's okay to behave in a certain way. There's also difficulties around sensory processing. So a lot of children with autism might have difficulties around, they might be oversensitive or undersensitive to certain things in their environment.
And then the 4th area is what we refer to as flexibility of thought, but it's also referred to in other places as repetitive behaviours and rigidity in routines, needing routines.
Right, okay.
So that might present itself as some of these repetitive behaviours, but it could also be wanting to watch the same thing on a video over and over again, or needing to line up trains in a certain way.
Right. Trains
as an example. Also not being able to sort of understand that, you know, we have to do things we don't want to do.
How do parents cope with the diagnosis? Is there any support out there?
A lot of local authorities do have volunteer parent groups, which is a lot of parents who've got together and created their support networks. You can usually find these on social media. There's also, if you actually look on local authority websites, they can indicate where there are support groups that are funded by the local authority or in affiliation with them. There is also the National Autism Society has a diagnostic helpline and other support available.
Parents can also talk to you on the Channel Mum support group as well, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. There's a forum, and we're there to answer any questions or queries or concerns that anyone has.
How do I explain to my child who isn't autistic what autism actually is?
I think it's really important as well for children to remember that even though they might have a friend who's got autism, it's still important to just treat them the same as everybody else. And I think there is a misconception that children with autism are not sociable or won't want to play with other children, but that really is a massive misconception, because really a lot of children with autism love to be around other people. It's just kind of understanding that they might do that in a bit of a different way to everybody else. And it's a really nice thing to talk about with your children. There's some lovely videos on YouTube that you can get to like explaining autism in a child-friendly way, which you can watch with your children.
What do I do if my child won't follow my instructions and will only do what they want to do?
What I would suggest first is thinking about the language you're using. Try and keep it simple, short phrases if possible. Be quite firm. So if it's just an instruction, rather than saying, right, go and get your shoes on, just say shoes on. Other things you could use to help reinforce your what you're saying is use some symbols, visual symbols, or a physical cue sometimes helps, or if you know any simple signs that can help to reinforce what you're saying. Coming onto it, if those strategies don't work, we always say have a reward system in place. It's helping them to see that, okay, I do have to do this thing I don't want to do now, but at the end of it there's something else.
And what about parents? Any advice, techniques to cope mentally?
Some parents might think that because their child has autism, they now have to change their entire life to fit around that child, and then the rest of the family has to change what they do. We've advised a lot of parents that actually it's more about helping your child to fit in with the rest of the family rather than everybody fitting around them, because they need to learn how to do that, and they can. Like, we've seen children be able to learn how to do that.
That's it. We could be here forever talking about it. Thanks so much for coming. Really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I hope you've enjoyed the next instalment in Meet the Expert series, and you can check out all the other videos in the series over on Channel Mum. A link will be in the description. And if you've got any other questions for Becky or Nadia, then make sure you head on over to the Channel Mum support group, where they'll be more than happy to chat to you about autism. Don't forget to watch more Meet the Experts videos in our series, and leave us a comment below on what experts we should be meeting next.